They say love is blind, but maybe it's not blindness. Maybe it's precision, selective, quiet, and rarely loud enough to announce itself. So let me ask you something. If a woman truly loves you, not halfway, not for comfort, but fully, how would you even know? It won't look like movie nights with popcorn. It won't sound like giggles over birthday cards. That's affection, that's warmth, but real love. Real love shifts the way she breathes. It alters her rhythm, subtle like the tide pulling at her shore. You see, when a woman loves you, she doesn't always say it. She doesn't always show it in obvious ways. She reveals it in pauses, in moments when she forgets to curate her presence. It's in the way her voice softens when she speaks your name, or how her eyes search for you even when you're not speaking. It's not in grand gestures. It's in the small slips, the moments she forgets to perform, when she lets her guard down and allows you to see her without any filters. Science calls it neural attunement. When two people deeply connect, their minds begin to synchronize, and not metaphorically, literally. Your presence reshapes her, and yet you still lie awake at night, scrolling through distractions, wondering if she loves you or if she's just avoiding loneliness. Let's stop guessing. No sugarcoating, no fantasy talk, just honest signals, the kind of truths that don't shout, they whisper. Because when a woman truly loves you, it's not loud, it's not always beautiful. Sometimes it's clumsy, sometimes it's quiet, but it's real. If you're the kind of man who's ready to recognize the difference, not between fake and real, but between affection and devotion, then you're in the right place. This is the Stoic spirit. If you value presence over performance and truth over tactics, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm ready for a woman's true love. Let's begin. Sign 1. She argues like it's her last defense. You thought love would feel like peace, and sometimes it does, but other times it feels like standing in a storm, trying to hold each other while lightning flashes overhead. When a woman truly loves you, she won't always be soft. She won't always be gentle. Sometimes she'll challenge you with the fire of someone afraid she's about to lose herself, not because she's unstable, but because she's all in. And when you're all in, the stakes are terrifying. She's not fighting about dinner plans or forgotten messages. She's wrestling with the fear that she gave you the deepest parts of her, and you might not realize how much they cost her. She might raise her voice. She might say, "You never listen," when really she means, "Please hear me before I disappear into someone I don't recognize." Picture this. She's not the woman pacing for control. She's the woman pleading for presence, because you matter to her more than she's ready to admit, and that makes her vulnerable in a way she hasn't been in years. You see, when love is real, it doesn't just soften you, it exposes you. Real love hands you the blueprint to someone's soul, and that blueprint is fragile. It's unguarded. So when she panics, when she reacts, she's not attacking you. She's defending the version of herself that only comes alive in your company. It's not about drama, it's about survival. She's protecting the parts of her that were silent before you came along. This might feel unfair, it might feel exhausting, but if you can look past the noise, past the tears, the frustration, you'll see what's really happening. She's not trying to win. She's trying not to lose herself in someone she loves too much. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "The greatest danger of all is losing oneself quietly as if it were nothing at all." That's what she fears, not abandonment, but self-erasure. When a woman truly loves you, she risks everything, her pride, her past, her patterns, and in return, all she wants is reassurance that loving you won't cost her herself. So when she raises her voice, look deeper, not with defensiveness, not with ego, but with understanding, because sometimes the loudest arguments come from the quietest fears. Sign 2, she lets you see the parts she hides from herself. There's a moment in every real relationship that no one prepares you for. It's not the first kiss, not the first "I love you." It's the first time she lets you witness her undoing. I'm not talking about messy hair or a bad day at work. I mean the moments when the storm breaks inside her and she doesn't have the strength or the will to hold it back. It can come suddenly while she's staring out the window, silent, while she's chopping onions, not for the reason you think, while she's laughing, and then without warning, tears rise out of nowhere. This isn't weakness, this is honesty, raw and unedited, and it only surfaces when she's crossed a line she didn't know she would. The line between being seen and being exposed. You have to understand, most women spend their lives curating how they appear, smiling when they're scared, laughing when they want to scream. They build emotional armor because the world demands it. But when she loves you deeply, sincerely, she begins to take it off. Not to impress you, but because something in her soul says, he might not run. And that is sacred ground. She may tell you about the night she couldn't breathe for no reason, or the way she still flinches when certain songs come on. She might say things she's never said aloud before, and then go silent, waiting to see if your eyes change. She's not asking for rescue. She's not asking for advice. She's asking one thing: can you still see me even now? Because real love isn't about attraction. It's about revelation. It's about letting someone walk through the locked doors of your history without pretending all the rooms are clean. We all carry rooms like that. Messy, sometimes abandoned, but when she lets you see hers, she's offering you something far rarer than beauty. She's offering you her truth. If she's never fallen apart near you, never gone quiet in your arms, never whispered a sentence that tasted like regret, ask yourself, have you made her feel safe enough to fall? Whistle while fixing a fence, or how you always find yourself stopping by that bookstore, not because you're a reader, but because it reminds you of the times your mother used to take you there after every dentist appointment. It's something so small, yet so significant. You've never called attention to it. You never expected her to remember it. But one random Tuesday, there she is, whistling in the kitchen or taking the long way home, passing by that same bookstore. No explanation, no "look what I did," just a presence quietly expressed through memory. Love, real love, isn't about grand gestures or visible acts. It's in the details that most people overlook. A woman who loves you doesn't gather facts. She gathers fragments of your past, little echoes of your childhood, the soft patterns in your voice, the ones you didn't even know shifted when you're anxious. She remembers because these small, seemingly insignificant truths are sacred to her. They form the sacred architecture of your connection. In a world where most people forget what they said 10 minutes ago, where notifications blare louder than real conversations, having someone who chooses to remember you, not for your achievements, but for the person you are when you're simply being, that's something extraordinary. When you're not performing, that's not ordinary, that's love. And then there's the moment when she pushes you, not to break you, but to build you. Many men confuse comfort with love. They assume, if she makes me feel at ease, she must care. But here's the truth. Love, real love, isn't always about comfort. Sometimes love feels like standing at the base of a mountain, knowing deep down you can climb it. And she refuses to let you turn back. When a woman loves you, she doesn't let you stay small, not because she thinks less of you, but because she sees more in you than you see in yourself. She won't criticize how fast you're going. She'll question your pause, challenge the lies you've told yourself for years, that you're fine settling, that now isn't the right time, that shrinking yourself is safer than standing. Tall, and in those moments, don't mistake her pushing you for control. It's commitment. Commitment not to who you are right now, but to who you are meant to become. She won't raise her voice. She'll raise her standards. She doesn't look at you with doubt. She looks at you with demand. Because she's not in love with who you are right now, she's in love with the direction you were born to move in. It might sting at times. She'll bring up things you'd rather ignore. She'll point out patterns you didn't even know you had. But here's the twist. She's not trying to change you. She's simply refusing to accept a version of you that plays beneath your potential. Real love doesn't pamper your excuses. It holds up a mirror, and sometimes that mirror is her. If she challenges you to push harder, to confront your fears, to become the person you promised yourself you'd be, understand this. She's not pushing you away. She's pulling out the man you've always had the potential to be. And that's not difficulty. That's growth. And then there's the quiet loyalty. Imagine this. You're not in the room, but your name is. Maybe it's in casual conversation. Maybe it's in critique, but there you are. And then someone, perhaps unwittingly, twists the truth just enough to sting, and that's when it happens. She doesn't make a scene. She doesn't raise her voice. Instead, she straightens, not her spine, but her silence. She speaks not for attention, but for truth. She doesn't need an audience to defend you, because her loyalty isn't loud. It doesn't wait for applause or validation. Her loyalty exists in the places where no one's watching. When no one else will stand up for you, she will. When the world would rather believe a lie, she'll quietly speak the truth, not to earn your favor, but because the version of you she believes in, the one built from late-night talks, quiet pain, and quiet effort, deserves to be honored. When a woman truly loves you, her loyalty doesn't demand recognition. It simply exists, unspoken, in those small moments, in the spaces where it counts the most. Because to her, your name isn't just a label, it's a story. And she's determined to make sure that story is one of truth, respect, and unwavering. Love, this right here, is what it means to be loved deeply. Not because you're perfect, not because you always have it together, but because she sees the real you, the one with flaws, fears, and potential. The one she's committed to helping grow. When you find someone like that, someone who sees you for who you really are, without the mask, without the performance, that's not ordinary. That's love. She builds a future and quietly places you inside it. Want to know if she truly loves you? Listen carefully, not to her promises, but to the way she talks about what's coming next. It's not in grand declarations, not in long-term plans carved in stone. It's in the subtle way her words start to wrap around you naturally, without even trying. She says, "We should fix this place up a bit." Or, "Maybe next spring we could take that trip." It doesn't sound like a proposal, but more like she's already thought of you as part of her life's plans. And not just as an idea, but in real, everyday ways. Maybe she rearranges the kitchen and pauses when she's about to move your mug. Maybe she books 2 seats instead of 1 for dinner without even having to think twice. It's in the way she buys groceries and, without asking, picks up your favorite bread just because she knows it's what you like. Not because she feels she has to, but because in her world you're already there. That's the thing with real love. It doesn't shout from the rooftops. It seeps into the details, the quiet actions, the small moments, the unspoken gestures. These are the subtle shifts that reveal something profound. She doesn't need to tell you she wants a future with you. She shows you by making space for you in the present. She's not dependent on you. She's deliberate in how she shares her life with you, as if you're already part of the picture she's been building. You'll notice it in the smallest ways. Maybe she asks, "Would this color look good for us?" Or casually adds your schedule to her calendar, no mention, no fuss. Or how she starts saying "we" before catching herself and smiling, because deep down she knows she's building something lasting, and you're already a part of it. These aren't accidents. These are the quiet signs of a woman who is grounding her future, and in the process, she's planting you firmly in the soil of her evolving story. It's not about rushing. It's about recognizing what she's already shaping. You are no longer a fleeting moment. You've become part of her evolving plotline. And if you're there, not just in the big moments, but in the quiet, everyday moments of her life, that's not coincidence. That's clarity. She's not handing you a blueprint. She's already laid the foundation and placed your name in the design of everything that's coming. She loves you, even as you're still becoming. Here's the truth. You're not the man you want to be yet. You've got dreams half-formed, habits you're trying to outgrow, wounds you've patched up but haven't fully healed. You're still in progress, and progress is messy. But if she's still there beside you, not because she's waiting for you to be perfect, but because she sees what you're building, well, that's not just love. That's loyalty in its purest form. She doesn't love the man you think you should be. She loves the man you are, even as you're figuring things out, even when you're unsure, even when you don't have all the answers. There's a world of difference between encouragement and presence. Anyone can cheer you on from the sidelines, but she steps onto the field with you. She's not waiting for the final performance. She's with you backstage, holding the script while you rewrite your lines. She doesn't just believe in the end result. She believes in your journey, in the messy, unfinished process of becoming who you are meant to be. And that, my friend, is rare. Most people only stick around for the celebration. But she's with you in the quiet moments, when you're doubting yourself, when you're unsure if you're enough. She knows when you withdraw, when your voice cracks, when you're questioning everything. Instead of stepping away, she steps in closer. She doesn't flinch when the storm in you rages. She doesn't expect perfection. She only asks for honesty, because real love doesn't wait for perfection. It grows in the unfinished spaces. Real love makes room for struggle, for change, for questions. It doesn't try to rescue you, doesn't try to lead you. It walks beside you, step for step, moment for moment. She isn't in love with your highlight. Real. She loves the parts no one else claps for, your effort, your resilience, the moments when you fall and pick yourself back up. She sees the man beneath the armor. She sees the builder, the fighter, the one still laying bricks, because at the end of the day, she doesn't need the finished house. She just wants to see you keep building. She doesn't shrink from your shadows. She lights a candle and waits patiently. And when you're quiet, she doesn't rush to fill the silence. She listens, because sometimes the most powerful thing a person can do is stand with you, right in the middle of what's unfinished. That's the kind of woman you don't just hold on to. You honor her. You show up for her the same way she's shown up for you, with patience, truth, and quiet devotion. She's not loving your past. She's not chasing your future. She's choosing you right here, right now, in all your uncertainty, all your contradictions. And if you've found someone like that, someone who has stayed, someone who has believed in you, then don't just protect it, build something with it. If this message touched something real inside of you, don't rush past it. Let it land. And if you've ever crossed paths with someone like this, someone who stood by you, believed in you, even when you weren't perfect, drop a comment. Write, "I'm still becoming, but I know who I'll build for." Tap like if this hit home. Subscribe to stay grounded with us, and I'll see you in the next one.